guys, it's Jessica from Peace Love Books, and today I'm here with Toucher and You Die romances. I have been reading so many with this trope that I'm like, I have to sit down and do a video. The day I'm filming this, I'm putting this up tomorrow. Amanda from Ginger Snapped Reads just posted her video today. I will link that down below, so definitely check her video out, but I have a bunch of recommendations that I cannot wait to chat about, and the first one that inspired this video is Psycho Shifters by Jasmine Mass. I have been meaning to read this for a while now, and I think book like 5 or 6 in the series came out, so I finally downloaded it on my Kindle. I had no book that I was reading while I was working out because I'm physically and audio listening to something right now, and I was like, let's try this. There are 3 guys. It is a Why Choose Romance, and she has always grown up, I think it might be Omegaverse because there's like alphas and betas, and I have a hard time wrapping my mind around that stuff, so I don't know if like what I'm saying is gonna make sense. So she thought she was always just normal, and she and her sister are taken in by this guy. I think their parents died. So this guy adopts them, and he's like a bar owner, and he abuses her. He's horrible to her, like daily hurts her. And so she is covered in scars, and she's always done that to protect her sister. So when in this world, when they turn 21, they're taken to this lake to be tested. She is tested, and they figure out she's the first female alpha. And so she is taken to this like training castle where the 3 heroes are, and they I think are all betas, and they're all shifters, and she's like super tiny and like very out of shape, and they are very like harsh on her. But like one of her first nights there, someone tries to break into her room, assault her, and then kill her, and so the guys find him, and the one guy freaks, and then they figure out that he was trying to assault her, and they flip out. So this is the kind of scenario where they act like they don't like her, and they're very like harsh towards her, but if anybody lays a hand on her, they are like, you are going to be taken out. So I'm loving this so far. She's like training with them and trying to fight like the Fae, and I'm having a lot of fun. I'm excited to see how it goes, and I really love all 3 of the heroes, and I just like can't wait to continue reading the series. I do have about 15% left, and it's like a 4.5 star read for me right now, so check this out. I also have a new book that I read recently that I have a reading vlog for, and that is Loving Romeo by Laura Pavlov. This one, she had issues with someone in her past, and so she is not able to like feel completely safe, and he owns a gym, and he's actually training for a big fight that he has that he is like unretiring from boxing for. He didn't really have that long of a career, but this one person's being very public about wanting to fight him. He's like, if I have enough money, then I will, like if there's enough big of like a draw, like if you give me money, I will fight. And so they have a really great deal for him, so he's like, sure. So he's training. She has a coffee shop right down from the road from his, like around the corner from his gym, and he hates her because of what her family did to him, but she has no idea what they did. They start spending time together, and she says she wants to take self-defense lessons at his gym, and he's like, who hurt you? And he's just like, why do you need to protect yourself? Like, let me know who it was, and I'm gonna take them out for you. And I just love how protective he is. I love it when it's both in like a fantasy setting and a contemporary setting. So this one was so good. Like, even though he claimed he hated her because of her family, he could not stay away from her and could not stop being protective of her. So it was so good. Another one that is more contemporary but very unique. It's very hard to describe this book, but that is Requiem by Callie Hart, because all these books have like a specific scene I am thinking of that I'm like, yes. So this one, she lost her best friend in a car accident. This like really bad thing happened, and she blames the hero, and so she's like, I'm gonna go to their boarding school that they went to that my best friend would go to and find him and kill him. So she's been training, and she arrives at the school, and she sees him, and someone ends up blaming her for something that happened and basically attacking her, and he flips, and she has to be the one to tell him like, stop, or you literally will kill him. So I love this so much. He is very, very, very protective of her, even though they are like really butt heads in the beginning, and it's so interesting, their dynamic, and she wants to kill him, but he wants to kill for her. It's so good. I loved him specifically and his love for her so much in this book. Then we have Painted Scars by Neva Altaj. This is a mafia romance, and there's a scene. So she has to be forced to marry him. He is the head of the mafia, and her dad owes him something, money, something with business, basically offers her up in payment, and so she's like thinks that she's gonna have to marry like some old guy and ends up being the hero, and he is actually in an accident. I think his car was bombed, something was bombed, and he ends up having to be in a wheelchair for a little bit until he goes through like physical therapy and gets stronger. And so he also wants to be seen as strong because like physically he's seen as weak, so he's worried that the mafia will continue to see him as weak, so he's like, I need to get married. So they get married, and he is very protective of her. One, because she does have a past. She's like very terrified of being confined by like a body on top of her, so he's like, what the heck happened to you in your past? And two, something happens where he takes it into his own hands, and she gets so angry at him, and I'm like, listen, you married the head of the mafia. Of course he's going to take people out who wrong him or anybody he loves. So this one was a really great time. I really had a fun time reading this mafia romance, and it makes me want to read so many more mafia romances because I love that dynamic. I also have this book, which I talk about too much, but I'm obsessed, and that's Powerless by Lauren Roberts. This one, they're in a tournament style battle where you can battle to the death, but like the goal is just to win, but like they don't stop you from killing each other. So the hero is actually the king's basically assassin. He has the ability to use anybody's powers that are around him. The heroine has no powers, and it is illegal to have no powers because the powerless are killed. So they're called ordinaries, and they're said to have like dull the effects of the people who have powers, so they kill them, and his job is to take them out. And so she has been hiding her whole life as like a kind of psychic, even though she's not, just to say that she has like this mind power, and they choose her to be in the tournament. So her and the hero have to be in the tournament together, and he is so protective of her and will take out anybody who tries to kill her. So he makes sure that she survives, and I loved it so much. The ending is insane, and I am already dead over how this book is going to end up, but so good. Please read this if you haven't yet. I'm obsessed. Then we have one that I gave 3 stars. However, it is so popular right now that I wanted to mention it in case you wanted to check it out, and that is Nero by S.J. Tilley. So this one did not have enough mafia plot for me, like, or plot at all, and the heroine was very much like kind of damsel in distress, kind of going along with whatever's happening to her, and I like heroines with a little bit more personality and like things happening to them. So the hero's in the mafia. He basically sees her and he's like, I'm obsessed, I want her. So he stalks her, and then she is a virgin, and that first time scene, I literally texted Tori and I was like, did this actually just happen? And she's like, yep. So it's a little over the top, but he literally wants to kill anybody who touches her, and that's his vibe. It's more so because he's so possessive and obsessive of her, not because he wants to protect her, it's because she's his. So it's a possession thing, and there just wasn't a lot of plot in this one. It was basically just them hanging out and him wanting to protect her and not let her go anywhere. And so it was fine. I gave it 3 stars, but the series has been blowing up, so if you want that kind of like psycho touch her and you die, you can read this one. And the last one's because I'm doing my reread and I'm like, oh my god, he is so touch her and you die, because his powers like magnify when he gets angry at anybody like threatening her, and that's House of Sky and Breath. It is a little bit in House of Earth and Blood, but like more so in this one because he literally almost like blows up, loses it when everybody is like threatening her or if she's in any danger. This is with Hunt and Bryce. This is book 2 in the Crescent City series. Book 3 is coming out next week and mine's already shipped. I might be getting it tomorrow. We'll see. But I love their dynamic so much. I just love how Hunt literally just gets so filled with his lightning power that he literally will explode and kill everybody because he is so protective of Bryce. I am obsessed. This is a very hard series to explain. It's fantasy. They are doing things and trying to uncover things. Hunt is an angel. So he's like known as like the worst killing angel ever. So it's so good. I love his dedication and obsession with Bryce. I just love it. And that's just a shorter list of some touch or new directs, especially ones that I've been reading lately that I am obsessed with. So if you have any recommendations for me that I haven't read yet, please let me know. I would love to hear. And that's all I have. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a good day. Bye.